Okay. Hello, husband.
Tuck in tight.
Tuck in tight. So, how do I open this? This is my husband, James. Welcome back to my channel. I had a question to ask you. Kind of like a reflective question. One that I haven't even really thought about the answer myself much. But I'm sure that we can talk about it. And it's just one question, maybe a two-part question. Yeah, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say. The question is, how do you think that I've changed since having a child with you? And how do you think our relationship has changed? Well, because we're always, I'm always reflecting on the shift that happened inside of myself. And I'm, acutely aware of what I think I've changed, how I think I've changed. But I don't often think about how we've changed, or how you've changed, or how you think that I've changed. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm interested to hear, and maybe I'll go first.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're answering the question, asking and answering the question. I was preparing my answer. Now I've got to listen to your answer. No, I'm not ready.
I don't have an answer. I thought that maybe we'd inspire each other as we spoke.
Of course.
And
who's going first then? I'm happy to go first.
Okay, go ahead.
So how have you changed? I don't think you've actually changed too much as a person. I just think that your priorities have definitely changed. I think that a lot of who you are, the characteristics that you have, the personality traits, the drive and ambition, that's all still really clear. I just think it's more focused on nurturing our daughter. So that's the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that question. I was trying to, rummage around in my mind to try and find areas or parts of you that have changed, but the immediate response is that no, you're still you, and you're still the same Bianca. You're just more of a mum now and less of a wife.
Less of a wife.
Less is such a horrible word.
Less,
sorry,
less focused on you.
Yeah, maybe? I mean, well, yeah, 100%, which is absolutely fine. You're less of a wife to me in a sense that me and you don't have our husband-wife relationship as much as we used to. We're definitely now parents, and that's beautiful. I love it. And I the word less isn't nice. I don't like that word, so I want to retract that statement a little bit. But I want to highlight that our relationship as husband and wife is definitely different now. We don't go to the cinema together. We don't have many moments like this alone together. This is actually a very unique, rare moment.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that the second question is easier to answer. How have we changed? Because, I suppose that you haven't really changed much. But I feel like before our child, we were very much looking at each other and sending each other energy. And now we're both focusing our energy towards a common goal.
And even when we're not with her, we're thinking about her or talking about her. So
yeah, she's the common goal, but also us as a family and moving forward.
Yeah.
In the world together as one big family is more the goal now, whereas before it was very focused on the other person. And
definitely I think that you have changed a little bit with how you perceive time and
wait, what?
how important time is now to you. So I guess that's a small change. You have your tolerance for messing around and loafing is definitely shorter now. So when we have moments where we need to get to the gym, it's like, we're going to the gym now. You have an interview, you have something we need to do, you've got some work to do, we're doing it now.
I just find like it's really valuable to, like, if we've got the childcare or the baby's napping or whatever, I don't want the other thing that we're doing to bleed into the time that we spend with her.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But it does crunch our time. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
And you have to be like so efficient to like get it done.
What did we do before?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it must have been so chill.
Yeah. Well, something that I was going to say, if I really thought about it, is that you're actually like, you're kind of both more stressed and less stressed at the same time.
Yeah,
like
course.
In different ways. Like on one hand, you stress less about things that don't matter, like so much less. For example, I mean, what examples can I think of? Like how you look, what you wear on the daily basis, like what other people think of you. Like I feel like you used to really worry about that. Not so much like what you're gonna do next with your life, but like how to hone in on what you are passionate about in a way that like moves you forward.
Of course.
Whereas now all of those worries are gone and you're just kind of like focused on doing and enjoying life and basically what is important. But on the flip side to that is that there is more stress and that you're kind of more, I don't know if the word stress is it or anxious, but you're more that kind of vein of things about like getting yourself to a certain place because you're bringing your family with you. And there's like another little soul that's relying on you to be, I don't know.
To sum it up,
to demonstrate.
You start to realise what really matters. And when you realise what really matters, those things carry weight. And with that weight, you could perceive it as stressful in order to get to where you want to get to, or in order to make sure that our daughter is well cared for, looked after and safe. So yeah, when you think about how much it takes to grow a human and to bring a life into this world and to have ambitions and dreams for that child and your family, you know, if you dwell on that from an anxious place, it's heavy and it's stressful. But on the flip side to that, it's also such a beautiful opportunity and
to drive you.
And an amazing driver, and what it does is it gets rid of all the stuff that doesn't matter, the stuff you were talking about, the small stresses of life that we once used to worry about, or we used to, you know, spend our time thinking about or talking about, or even, you know, giving it any kind of energy. They're not important anymore. So with this beauty that comes from this new journey, the freedom that you've created by getting rid of so much rubbish is actually such a beautiful gift.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think that there's like a lot more clarity there. Although, yeah, our day to day is quite.
It's challenging. Yeah, of course. Yeah, my gosh, it's challenging. Yeah, for sure. And it keeps getting even more challenging because we have to be on it when you turn around for 2 seconds and she's already climbing the stairs now. Whereas before we could just get Naya's sleeping on the sofa. She's got pillows around her. We've created a little pillow fort and now we can just go off and do our own thing for a little bit. Now it's like,
she's just full attention. Also, like when she starts talking, asking loads of questions, like it's gonna be a massive challenge in like patience and like, you know, how to speak to a child who doesn't realize that you have other things going on. And that's gonna be a whole nother ball game. But yeah.
I think I've learned that anyway from just being with you, you know, and I've got other stuff going on, you know, like, so what should we do today? Do you think this jumper looks nice on me? Have you ever thought about whether or not the stars are aligned perfectly for us and we'll be together forever.
You're like,
Like, I've got work to do.
yeah, I mean, I think that's just,
That's the beautiful thing. I can't wait for Naya to
I'm so
have
excited.
language or trying to, work the world out and to see things from her perspective. It's going to be fascinating listening to what she thinks the world is and what she makes of the world. And leaving the door open to exploration, and learning ourselves, relearning things that we might have not even considered before,
Great. I mean, I think that we've kind of talked about everything. Are there any other shifts or changes you've noticed in me specifically or us as a couple?
I think we take our health more seriously, definitely. Yeah, I think we've really got back into the rhythm of going to the gym, trying to stay fit. I know I want to be healthy and strong and fast and agile, so we can, enjoy exercise and sport and play with our children, running after them, and just beating dads in the school. Beating dads in the school running races on sports day.
I thought you were gonna stop at beating other dads.
Well, yeah.
What?
Hopefully it never comes to that. But I mean, they might add like an MMA element to sports day for parents. I mean, everyone's really interested in that. Not that I've done MMA and
I don't know what MMA is.
I'd be on the sidelines, but I'll stick to the sprints.
Is that like, I don't know.
Yeah, mixed martial arts.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Which is apparently really good for children's discipline. So
I
if
thought
you don't
it was
want to
like
go.
judo.
Yeah,
Judo?
it's a mixed martial arts. So yeah, judo.
Mixed martial arts gives the energy of like there's no rules and you can just bite each other and scrap and jump off tables and stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that. But I think I think that's wrestling, entertainment wrestling, which is quite fun as well. But no, judo is the starting point, and then you've got brilliant Brazilian jiu-jitsu and other mixed martial arts that come into that. So I guess it's just multi-form discipline.
Cool, man.
Which, as I said, is meant to be really good for children and discipline and growth. So we should
do that.
Yeah, I mean, imagine little Naya in her little judo outfit.
So sweet.
Flipping.
Helmet. Do you have any thoughts on us changing in a negative way?
Negative way. That's a good question. And
like, are there things that you miss and you wish you had more of, or? I mean, I think there's always like a bit of mourning that happens when you become a family of 3 rather than just a couple. Because there's a lot of like, I'm missing out on like, especially if all your friends are still
for sure.
childless. There's a lot of freedom there that. It's interesting because you said freedom earlier. There's more freedom because you have freedom of space of mind, but you don't have freedom in terms of you can't just go anywhere that you want. Like you can't go on holiday, you can't go out to the club, you can't whatever, without a bit of planning.
I think one negative that I would say is that when we do finally get a moment to be together, even if it's, usually it's quite late at night, isn't it? It's like 9 till, we fall asleep. I think we're just so overstimulated from and tired from the evening of, trying to entertain our daughter and making sure that she's kept busy and enjoying and learning.
She's
enriched, whilst also being on the back of a potential work day, or whether we've been to the gym or whether we've been to work, or whether we've been even just like creative, like working on our own little side projects. I guess when we finally get to that couple hour window where we're together, it's kind of just like, let's not even chat. let's just like do the bare minimum here, and we kind of just both like melt into this like silence.
I'll just hold your toe.
Yeah. So that's I mean, that's fine. That's
I don't think that's like, I think that's temporary
definitely.
while they're really young.
But I guess
children.
it's just like we are, we're not as present with each other as we could be when we should be, maybe. So that is something that came to mind.
Yeah, I feel like we don't like look at each other like this. And like this feels foreign and different.
Yeah. Maybe we need to do that, staring into each other's eyes thing again.
Oh
we
my
did a while
gosh,
ago.
yes, we used to meditate. Or like do a mindfulness meditation where like the other person was kind of the totem or the anchor, and we just stared at each other's eyes. It was an intimacy building exercise.
It was.
But it was very good.
It was, yeah.
I kept laughing. But
yeah, I'm funny.
Yeah, talking to each other like this. This is nice. I feel healed. Maybe we should a video like this every week.
Definitely, yeah. This can be our little diary room blog where we reconnect.
Aww, yeah. I missed you.
I missed you too. And here we are, right next to each other like we always are. Forever.
Every day,
Every day
24/7 together. Shall we go to the gym?
I'd love to go to the gym.
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, just spread love, be kind, enjoy your life.
That was James, everybody. And me. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.